Hey, I'm going to talk about Puerto Rico. So y'all came for a very fun, hopefully, night. But one thing he was saying, Aaron was saying, and how's it said? God is so good that he allows you to come to him however you are. And he's so awesome that he doesn't allow you to stay that way. So we got a short video about Puerto Rico. Hey, there we go. Yeah, see, that's the island right there. We were right in the middle of it. I'll talk about it. But if you want to toss that video on, it's about 3 minutes or something. I don't know. It's in Spanish, so you're not going to understand the words, but you'll know the song. Oops. I opened it to the sermon I did in Puerto Rico. You don't want to hear that. I have a lot of pauses in it because of the interpreter and all. But Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, and its size is between the size of Delaware and Connecticut. And the population is over 3 million people, and they speak Spanish and English. And they said 65% of the island is elderly. Everybody that's young moves away. I don't know, it's pretty cool down there. I mean, it's hot, but I liked it. And we partnered with Praying Pelican Missions, and so they did all the preparations, our lodging. They set up the projects, the host church, which was the Iglesia Bautista de Salada, and that's Baptist Church of Salada, wherever that is, which is probably where we were, obviously. Anyway, they also did the interpreting, but I had my sister Carrie, who's been to Guatemala about a dozen times. I always went around with her, and I always had her interpret for me, so it was so much fun having her do that. And we worked in Garubo. I can't roll my R's because I'm tongue-tied, but so I'd probably be special needs in Puerto Rico. I don't need to say that. Never mind. Forget that. Anyway, it's in the middle of the island, and if y'all have ever been to North Adams, it's really hilly around the outside, like the center of the town. And these hills are steeper and higher in Puerto Rico. Like the island is a volcanic island. It grew up out of the ocean instead of glaciers. And so they don't actually have any streams or anything like that. Or any springs. So they had to make their own freshwater bays and all that stuff. I don't understand how they did it, but they live there, and it's pretty cool. So I went with Jenna, who is wearing the shirt tonight. Can you show everybody just quick? No, yeah, that's my girl. Yeah, that's the shirt. I have one too, but I gave it to her, so she has two. But she can't wear both of them at the same time. I don't know why. My sister Carrie, Erica, who sits kind of here in the front, and her son Max and her daughter Lily, and 43 other people. So it is a big group of people. So we needed someone to coordinate everything, which is where Praying Pelican Missions came into play. And we flew down on a Saturday. It was 5 hours in the air, which is probably nothing, but it is to me, because I've flown to Oklahoma and Indiana. Woohoo! So we land, and we get our group, and we just migrate through the airport slowly. I'm like, why don't we just get to a spot? And we finally get to a spot, and we were supposed to get 3 15-passenger vans for everybody and another van, but they rented those out right before we got there. So we had 7 little Ford Transit vans that seat 7 people. It was so cool. It was like we were the Secret Service flying around the island in these little vans. And so we load up and we head to Walmart, and it's pouring so heavy. The rain is so heavy. It's like rain the other day here. It was so heavy, so we're getting soaked, and we go to Walmart, get all the stuff we need. Actually, some people didn't, but they should have. And we were driving out of the city, and my car was on empty. I have empty. I'm like, guys, I'm empty. I need to get to the gas station. They're like, yeah, we'll get there when we get to our place that we're staying at. I'm like, I don't know how long I can go with an empty tank. So we're driving out of the city, and all of a sudden the traffic just stops, and there's this car in the middle of the road that can't go anywhere. And I look out my window, and I see Keith West running down the middle of the highway. He's got his Praying Pelican shirt on, but he's running down the middle of the highway, and he goes to help push the car out of the way. The first thing, he's the I jump in with both feet kind of guy, and it was pretty cool to see all that. I'm sitting in my car, I'm like, I ain't getting out. Plus I'm driving, so I can't, I'm like, and our interpreter, the fellow that was working in our car with us was Usil, and I'm like, what should we do? He's like, I don't know. He's 18. He hasn't even got his driver's license. He got it while we were there. It was pretty funny. So it was really hot down there. It was last week plus 10 degrees warmer. The humidity was insane. This guy sleeps in dark, cold, dry cave, and it was none of the above there. And so the building we were staying in, we get there, and to get up to it, it's just a hill, and you just drive up this hill, steep hill. If you stop on the hill, you're rolling back down the hill. So you just got to keep it in gear and keep pushing it. But it's like an octagon building. It's a big building. So the boys were on one side, the girls were on the other. We ate in the middle. There was a second story that we did all our meetings with and stuff like that. And there's lizards and everything there. And so there is the second part of my comfort zone is I drive in a car and I get to where I'm going. but that didn't happen. I don't like to drive on E. That didn't happen. It's hot. I can't stand heat. I know, I am a pansy. But I work as a maintenance guy, so I don't have to work out in the heat anymore. But I still do, but not as much. So we're in these metal bunk beds, and I have Max, Max McGee, Erica's son. He's above me, and Micah and the hare's son is next to me, Jethro. And I look over at him when he was sleeping one night, and I'm like, I thought of Judah. And I was like, I miss my boy. But he made me, I just kept treating him like one of us, and it was pretty cool. So Sunday at church, we get there, and we we get in, and they start worship. And I was in the back just looking at something around a corner, so I didn't see, they start playing, and the next thing you know, this guy starts wailing on the trumpet. Everything in Puerto Rico is a party. It's like the worship was a party. It was really cool. And toward the end, they sang happy birthday to 6 people, and somehow they got wind it was my birthday when we were down there. Now, I know my daughter didn't tell that person, but my daughter told many people, and she gave me a magnet for Puerto Rico, because I love magnets, and I love hats, so I got a Puerto Rico hat, too. But, and the song they sang is a party, too. It goes, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. And it goes, happy birthday to you. It's just a party. But they said it was really cool. Yes, with the trumpet going. It was a lot of fun. And it was good. Sorry about that. After church, we ate lunch, and then we went on a prayer walk. And I'm like, what in the world is a prayer walk? We're just going to walk around praying, blah, or we're going to talk to people. I can't speak their language, so I'm not going to do much. But what it was is we went to another part of the city, another steep part of the city, and we'd walk around, and if someone was sitting in the front yard, you go up to that person. We had a lady from the church. That was the lady that was praying for people in the group that we went with, and ask if they needed any prayer for anything. And whatever they asked, we'd pray for. And it was cool. It was cool to see the church reach out to their little community. So that was Sunday. And Monday, Sunday night, we went back to our place where we were staying, which is about 25 minutes away, so it's a lot of highway, but at least they have a good highway. And Monday, we went back to the church, and they talked about duties and what they need to get done. And so we were assigned Amma's house because they said something about a door needing to be put in. But in actuality, which is great, they just had to have a gate painted. But we never knew how much we had to paint the whole house. We painted the fascia on the roof, and then the whole inside of the house got painted. So other groups, they were coating roofs and helping at an elderly center and working at the host church. Also, Amma's husband had passed away the week before we got there. So it's like you're working for you're helping the widows and orphans, and it was really really good. Johnny, can you give me water, bro? Thanks. I skipped out on repairing the gazebo, so I was happy camper right there. So, because it's really hot out in the sun, and I was inside the house painting, I was painting the fascia, so I was actually hot on the roof, but I drank a ton of water, and I put sunblock on. Thanks, Sunblock Ninja Girl. And Monday night, we went back to where we were staying for 25 minutes, ate dinner, and then we went back to the church, 25 minutes, and our group hung out with the church's youth group, and I call them they had games and snacks, so I called it the Youth for Truth South. So 5 of our kids did a skit about prayer. And our little Jenna was one of them. I was proud papa moment. And then we drove back home and went to bed in the heat, and I took a shower every night, twice a night sometimes. And Tuesday it rained, and it rained all day. So Amma's house was such a large project that the rain brought all these people that could do something because two groups were working on roofs and stuff like that. So God made it rain. He can make it rain. He can make it not rain. I mean, Elijah knows that. And that was, thank you. That was the day of my birthday, so we were at Amma's house, and she gave me this huge tray of cupcakes. And she gave me a pen, and I just put the pen in my drawer at home. It's like, it had like Psalms in Spanish on it or something like that. I'm going to keep that forever, for as long as I can hide it and not lose it. And Jenna got speckled with paint. So at night, we would sit as a big group and discuss our day. And did I lose a page? No. Yeah, that's Tuesday. And as we do this, we worship, and then we talk. And Tuesday night brought endless worship. We just sang, we talked, and then I told the ladies, I'm like, we're not done worshiping. I mean, not that I have any say in anything, but we continued to worship. And there were many tears that night, and many teens reached out to God, and their hearts and the relationships strengthened in Him. And it was a great night. And then they cut it short to sing Happy Birthday to me again. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And that is Tuesday. So Wednesday, we were able to finish Amma's house in the morning. So the painting is done, the whole house. I was able to repair a plumbing issue after Asher West found it while cleaning paintbrushes. And, I mean, he flooded the back. It might not have only been him. It was a lot of people, but they flooded it. And Jenna went somewhere. After we were done painting, Jenna went and helped Deb Woodcock's group scrape a driveway so it could be resurfaced. And she just jumped in and helped wherever she could, wherever she was needed. I was proud. I was like, where's my daughter? They're like, she's helping. I'm like, she's in good hands because everybody's watching her. So we went to church that Wednesday night, and the school worship band played, and I played with them. They let me sit in on drums. I was loving it, and I was invited. Okay, this is how it went. I said all the things that I could do. I can sing, I can play drums, I can do carpentry, I can drive. I said I could preach if you needed that. There was at least 5 other people that they could have chose. I never expected it to be me. But God, it was me. So there were 5 leaders from Praying Pelican Missions. Christian was the head, and then Uziel, Mariana, and Francis Marr. And they kept us coordinated, and they interpreted for us. And on Wednesday night, Francis Marr was my interpreter, and I spoke on John 15. And since Pastor spoke on it a couple weeks ago, I figured I wouldn't do the whole sermon, but we're going to focus on the beginning. I have a friend who's a pastor in Tennessee, and he brought this point out, and I thought, I'm going to bring it to our congregation too, because it was really, really poignant and good. So let's turn to John 15, verses 1 through 4. And I'm in the Amplified Bible, just like Aaron was this right before me. I should have found it before, but I didn't. So it says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Any branch in me that does not bear fruit, that stops bearing, he cuts away, trims off, and takes away. And he cleanses and repeatedly prunes every branch that continues to bear fruit, to make it bear more and richer and more excellent fruit. You are cleansed and pruned already because of the word which I have given to you, the teachings I have discussed with you. Dwell in me, and I will dwell in you. Live in me, and I will live in you. Just as no branch can bear fruit of itself without abiding in me, being vitally united to the vine, neither can you bear fruit unless you abide in me. So the Greek word for prunes here is katharos, which is translated clean. So when I drive to Oklahoma a lot when I was in Bible school, and I had friends in Ohio, and you drive through Ohio and you see a lot of vineyards along the roads. And the vineyards, like my sister has a tiny little one in her backyard, but there's posts, and then there's wires, and the vines climb along the wires, so it makes nice clean rows for the vines to be on and the fruit to hang from, to pick. But I don't think in Jesus' time a vineyard looked like that, because they didn't have wire and stuff. A vineyard in the time of Jesus probably would grow along the ground, and they would place the vines upon the rocks. And occasionally the rain would fall, and the winds would blow, and the vines would blow off the rocks. And then the vine dresser, Father God, would come along and lift the vines up that had fallen. He'd clean them, and he'd put them back on the rock. He lifted up every branch. He cleans every branch. That sounds like our God. You're going to fall in the dirt. You are going to stumble. You're going to fall off the rock. The rain's going to come. The wind is going to blow. And he's not coming to cut you off. He's coming to clean you. He's cutting off the bad stuff, the stuff that doesn't bear fruit, the stuff that hinders ripe, wonderful fruit from growing. He's not cutting you off. He's coming to clean you. Which is why verse 3 makes so much sense. You are cleaned and pruned already because of the word which I have given you. We need to let Father pick us up, clean us off, and put us on the rock. Put us on that firm foundation. We don't work our way on that rock. He puts us there. Don't stress. We don't stress on it. We just hang out on the rock, all clean because our Father put us there. He redeems us and puts us there. And being clean and pruned, we can bear much fruit. That's all you get from John 15. But back to our trip. So on Thursday, that gazebo, honestly, up on the hill, in the hot sun, in the heat, it's my nemesis. I'll do anything, but don't put me up on that hill, God. Guess where I go? I go up on that hill. So the two groups that were coating roofs finished their jobs. The team at the elderly center painted a mural and painted in the elderly center and helped them. A group landscaped at the church, and another group landscaped at the place we were staying at. They were clearing a long, overgrown basketball court. That's where Jenna worked on that morning. You were sweeping. Oh, she was sweeping. That's right. She swept the whole upstairs of the place we stayed at. Not just where we sat, but the whole thing. So she probably swept 10 feet or something like that. No, it was a big spot. It was a big place. We were able to get at least a roof on the gazebo so that they could use it in the hot sun, but not be in the hot sun. So after lunch, we went to the ocean. We went to Carolina Beach, and the waves were so calm. You could lay on your back and just float and not sink or anything, just float in the hot sun, but at least you were in the ocean. It was good. Yes, I had sunscreen on, right, Ninja Girl? Then we went to Puerto del Mar and ate chicken on a stick, and we drank from coconuts. They put coconut in everything. The cupcake I had from the church had coconut in it. The candy we got from people that said, "Oh, thank you for helping us out," it was all coconut. I like coconut, but not that much. And so Gabe West, again, the West name there, and Donovan, they climbed trees to get coconut. And they also got star fruit. That was pretty cool, too. And they ate those without cutting the skin off or anything. It was weird. And I just stood there watching my little girl, my little Jenna. I was so proud, and I was honored to take a trip with her. And I am so honored to be used by our God on that island. And and I'd like to thank all those that gave, because I couldn't have done it without you. I mean, God could have done it, but he used you, so thank you. And from beginning to end, God's hand was on this trip. He provided everything. He's the safety, the energy, the ability, the sleep, the food, health, and all the money necessary. I felt like I was home, minus Megan and my other kids. I didn't feel homesick, but I called them every night anyway. And, you know, thank goodness that they have video calls, video chats. And God is there as much as he is here. He brought us 1,600 miles to be used out of our comfort zone for growth and to use what I learned there back here at home. So again, thank you so much for giving, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to go and be able to talk about it. So that's all I have for you. Love you all.
Church picnic Sunday. So we will not, that was good, thank you. Seems like a more comfortable